at you with yet another DJs BrewTube beer review. That's right, guys. You see what's in front of me? It's a big ass can of Heady Topper from the Alchemist out of Waterbury, Vermont, US of A. That's right. This is their big old DIPA. That's the #1 beer on Beer Advocate, and it's super fresh. It's 3 days old that my buddy Hopback Nate sent me. Watch Nate's channel. He does awesome reviews, homebrew, as well as craft beers. Anyways, this is their one and only beer, guys. You know the whole story about this. We've seen reviews and reviews of this, super fresh, a month old, week old, or whatever, but what we haven't seen is how this beer travels through time. And I got this idea from watching the Alchemist video by John Kimmich, who said, hey, you know what, I wrote down in my notes that I like this beer best after 10 weeks. That's 70 days. Well, this beer's 3 days old, and what I'm going to do in this video, or this, I guess, review sort of like series combo pack here, is I'm going to go and enjoy this beer over a 70-day period. I got enough of them from Nate. Thanks again, man, for sending me the big mother load of Heady Topper. And I'm going to tell you what it tastes like from 3 days all the way back to 70 days. And see if, you know what, if it's good, how it changes. We're going to go through all that jazz. So we'll start out now. We'll get the vital statistics about Heady Topper and also the Alchemist. And we'll get into drinking this beer because I'm freaking thirsty. Okay, guys. As you know, Heady Topper, this is pretty much the one and only beer that the Alchemist brews in cans at their cannery. They used to do other beers at their brew pub. But that got destroyed by Hurricane Irene when they were getting ready to move into their brewery and cannery. So that was back in 2011. This particular beer has been brewed since 2008. It's their flagship beer, and like I said, they're one and only. It's a DIPA year-round serving, 8% ABV, and 120 IBUs. You know what? Everybody's loving this beer. Rate Beer gives it 100. Beer Advocate gives it 100. There's no surprise. I don't have to say that to the end because everyone kind of knows that. Because this is the #1 beer on Beer Advocate right now. So, what more about this beer do you need to know? It's unfiltered, unpasteurized. It's using 6 kind of hops that are all premium Northwest Pacific hops, okay? Yakima Valley hops, that kind of stuff. It's meant to have layers and layers of flavor, not be too bitter, not be too malty, and showcase hops to the maximum. They do this all in a 15-barrel brew house that right now, I think, what was it? They're putting out like 800 barrel or 180 barrels a week out of a 15-barrel system. So that means they're doing 12 15-barrel batches. Man, that's at a shot. For, you know, I think they're doing like 50,000 barrels a year. That's a tiny ass brewery for putting out 50,000 barrels of beer. I know they're going through an expansion program, but that stuff all takes time. So, without further ado, you know about the brewery now, you know about the beer. Let's get it cracked open and see what it tastes like, man. What I'm going to do first here, we'll set it up, I'm going to crack it open, I'm going to tell you what it smells like out of the can, and I'm going to taste it out of the can, because right on the front of the can they say drink it from the can. And you've seen their argument for drinking it from the can, that it keeps a layer of CO2 over top of the beer the entire time, and that makes it taste better, and it, you know, I guess maintains its flavor. I've always thought in a glass, because you get the beer to bloom, you get some head, you can get a better aroma. So let's see what we got going on. I love that sound of the beer cracking open. Let's get a nose on this. We got our lovely Heady Topper artwork because we can't see what the beer looks like. Wow. Wow. That is bright and big and tropical, fruity, juicy. It's like I don't know, it's like tangerine and grapefruit and orange zest on the outside of the peel. All had a freaking citric love child. Man, it's dank and piney and herbal. Damn. That's a really freaking good smelling beer. That's the best smelling beer out of a can that I've ever smelled. Now, imagine if I poured this in the glass. I'm going to taste it first, but if I poured it in the glass now, it'd be like Mr. Kimmich said, it'd be wicked cloudy, because this is a really green, raw beer. Let's get a taste of this and see what we got going on. Wow. Wow. That is a freaking Hopzilla bomb. It's big up in your grill, dank, citrus attack to the maximum, but it's not like really astringently bitter, just like they said it's not supposed to be. Wow. Man, that is a tasty ass IPA. I'm really surprised. I've had this at a tasting before, but I've never really gotten to examine it like this because you get it past in a tasting cup or whatever, and you finally get it and it's off temperature or what have you. But man, the layers of citrus flavor as you drink it down start to change. Sometimes it's herbal, sometimes it's citric, sometimes it's resiny and piney. Man, that is a complex, tasty beer, and I can see why people rave about this as a DIPA, because this is freaking delicious. Wow, I need another taste of that. Wow, that's I'm going to tell you right now, that's definitely the best East Coast IPA I've tasted, period. So, I'm going to weigh final judgment when I get in here. Let's put a little bit of this in the glass, and I want to see what it looks like. You know what, it's not that hazy. Well, yeah, well, when I look at it, it is. Okay, there's what it looks like out of the glass. We don't have a real big head. It's an 8%er. When I swirl it, man, you get some clingy glass lacing kind of in there. Plenty of alcohol, kind of curtains coming down. It's hazy. You can tell it's unfiltered. It's not chunky. I imagine if I get down to the bottom of the can, the chunks would be in there. I don't care about chunks. I like them. It doesn't faze me in the least bit. I'm getting my most out of my beer. There's lots of active bubbles actually coming up from the bottom on this too. Let's get a nose from here. It's actually more intense out of the can. It's a little more dank out of here and piney. But the citrus aromas and everything are a lot bigger out of the can. Wow. Taste-wise, you know, it's more muted out of the glass, just like they say. Let me taste it here. I know I'm going two-fisted here, but both ways it's delicious. But it is more intense and more dank and more herbaceous and more citric and citrus tasting out of here. It's got a really nice medium, full medium mouthfeel. I know I'm kind of switching back and forth with two-fisted drinking here, but damn, that's a delicious ass beer. Glass or can, I drink it either way. I don't really care. I'm glad I got multiples of this because I'm going to really enjoy doing this review series, but wow, that's a really tasty beer. It's hard to describe, and I'm glad I'm going to do more than one can of this. All the flavors that are in this beer. It's not too sweet. It's not too bitter. It's really balanced. It drinks. You can't taste any of the alcohol in this. I get a little alcohol warming in the chest, but I don't taste any of the alcohol, and there's nothing in the aroma. And for an 8%er, this goes down smooth as hell. And they're saying, yeah, 120 IBUs, but when it drinks this easy, what the hell does 120 IBUs mean? But I'm a big freaking hop monster. Like you didn't know that before you cracked the can open. Anyways, I'm rambling on here, guys. This is a really impressive beer. I don't know if I give it 100, but I'm definitely going to give it an A+. I'm going to give it the highest I've ever gone on a DIPA. I'm going to give it a 99. I don't know, maybe I'll like it better as I go down, but I'm starting straight out with a 99 like this. Man, this is an A+ DIPA. It's one of the, definitely one of the best that I've ever had. It's different than a West Coast IPA. It's still an East Coast IPA in my mind because, man, the balance is just there. But, man, the citrus aftertaste, I'm tasting like straight orange zest in my mouth right now. And I just had a bit of a burp, and it was like orange zest and pine dank resin. That's just awesome. So, anyways, let me do one thing. Let me pour a good hit of this and swirl it and see what kind of if we get any chunks out of this. Because I've seen other folks that had chunkity chunks coming out of their beer. I'm kind of not liking to do this because I wanted to finish it off from the can, but you know what? Screw it. Yeah, well, that got a bit more hazy, as you can see. Look at that. I got no chunks in it, no particulate matter, but it is filtered and everything. I don't see anything in the bottom of the can, but it's actually a really nice looking unfiltered DIPA. I'm an unfiltered fan. Look at that gorgeous head and everything. It's a really pretty beer, and those bubbles are super tight. Let's get a hit of this. Damn, that's good. Wow. Well, I'm going to end this part of it because I got multiple more parts to do this to get out to 70 days with the rest of these guys. So, we'll see you at the next part of this. This was really long. The other parts will be a lot shorter. Maybe I'll use some different glassware, like I said. Maybe that'll affect it. Who knows? Or maybe I'll just drink it straight out the can. So, we'll see you when the next video me appears. Peace out. 20 days since my last Heady Topper. Over my, I guess I'm going to do my Heady Topper over 70 days kind of, I guess, review or taste testing. And we're going to get this right out of the can now. Now, as you know, the last part of my video I said it's better from the can, but I'm going to put it in the glass so you can see what it looks like as well, but I'm going to start on it out of the can. So let's see what we got going on here. Get it cracked. Oh, God, I love that sound. We'll get a nose on it and tell you what's up. You already got all the information in the first part of the video. I'm not going to go over that crap again. Let's get the nose on it. Oh, man. It's more piney now. Still big citrus, but the pine's a little more aggressive than I remember. Man, herbal is coming out and pine is coming out. Wow. 3 days old. It was super green, super citrusy, super up in your grill. Now 20 days in, man, it's still lip-smackingly tasty, but more that pine aggressiveness up in your face. Oh, man, that smells awesome. Man, layers and layers of aroma, pine, citrus, grapefruit, orange, tangerine, yum, peach. Let's get this in the glass. We'll pour it gingerly to see how clear it is now compared to before. That's what's suggested anyway. Okay. Wow. Alright. It's still pretty much, it's a little tiny less hazy. Not much. I don't know if you guys can see that real good from here, but we'll turn it to the side. Maybe you can. It's a little less hazy than before. Still, man, in this, I got this different glass this time. This is the stemless snifter. We can get a big bowl of smell on this. Yeah, man, the pine's up in your grill right now. Man, orange, citrus. It does smell better out of the can, by the way. Orange, citrus, grapefruit. Wow. The malt's in there, too. Man, I'm going to get a taste of this. Let's see what's up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to taste it out of the can first here. Hold on a second, guys. Cheers. Wow. Man, that's good. Wow. Okay, just like in the nose, now the pine's up in your grill more than the citrus was before. It's still really layers of flavor. Perfect temperature, we're about 46 degrees, I think, on this right now. But wow, what a tasty brew. Pine, citrus, like I'm saying, grapefruit. I know I keep repeating myself, but man, those flavors like go in waves in your mouth. It's got sort of a dry finish to it. Let's take this out of the glass now. Man, it's all there, guys. Like I said, it's changed a little bit. That super bright citrus and like citric acid zest that was just zinging you before has tamed. No alcohol taste at all. The mouth feels exactly the same. That full medium mouth feel, really still coating. But now it's a bigger herbal and bigger grassy and bigger piney experience than it was the last go around. This is a total freaking awesome beer, man. 3 days in, it was super awesome, blowing my mind away. And 20 days in, it's still blowing my mind away. Awesome IPA, DIPA. This has got to be it's the top, and I can see why. So, anyways, what am I giving it for a grade? Because what the other guys think right now doesn't matter, because of what we're doing over the time here. I'm still going to give it the 99 like I did last time. It's still top-notch. It tastes a little bit different, but it's still totally freaking awesome. So, we'll be back for the next go-round, and, you know, a few more days. Back then, peace. DJ's back, and I got part 3 here of my Heady Topper over time series. And at this point, this Heady Topper right here in front of us is 37 days old from date of canning. I've had it over 2 series now, and it's been awesome each time, and it's developed over time. And I can tell kind of when people review this beer, sort of now that I've been, I guess, associated with Heady for a while now, that they're tasting it like in some of the same points where I've tasted the other one, which is kind of cool. At each point, it's been an awesome beer, and people have been giving different reasons for why they're giving it an A+, whatever they've got for it. So, I'm going to get this one cracked open. I'll put a little bit in the glass, but I'm going to really drink it from the can because I'm a firm believer after 2 of these. Actually, I've had more than 2 of them, but after 2 of them reviewed, it's much better out of the can. That's my opinion, and the folks who own the brewery. I just got done doing some yard work, and Mr. Kimmich, who owns this here brewery, the Alchemist, says this is the working man kind of beer. So it should be good after doing some yard work, right? There you go. Wow, okay. Look at that. That's cleared out considerably over the last time that I had the Heady. A lot more clear. It's more of a golden color now. It was a lot darker, more hazy, and sort of trubby up in there. I'm sure we got some Skittles settled down in the bottom of this can. Effervescent carbonation. Little tiny head. This is a tasting glass, so that's how it goes. Let's get a nose on it out of here. Wow, the citrus is back and the pine has died down a little bit in the aroma anyway over the last time. It's still way more aggressive out of the can. The pine aroma is more aggressive out of the can here, but the citrus is more out of the glass. Wow, still lovely. You're getting lemon, orange, grapefruit, tangerine, pine, herbal notes, and some sweet malt. And out of here, I'm getting bigger pine, but I'm still getting the lemon, tangerine, wow, grapefruit, orange zest. Herbal notes. Wow, I just love this beer. Let's get a taste of it here. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Out of the glass here, I'm getting up front a lot of lemon zest this time, pine, then herbal. Number 2 is the pine in there. And it's not astringent. You can't taste a bit of the alcohol still. The mouthfeel is still the same. It tastes a little more crisp than the last time when it was more green and raw and not settled out as much as this one is and clarified. Here at 37 days when it's like sort of cleared out, the taste of the part that I poured off the top of the can here is more bright and vibrant. And that pine that was huge out of the can before, when I drank it, and the glass, the last installment at 20-some days, has died down now, I guess, as the beer is settled out. Some of the hop particulate and proteins and stuff have settled down to the bottom of the can. It's not as pine resinous and pine attack and herbal attack as it was before, and the citrus has come back. Man, that's just lovely. Let's get a taste of it here out of the can and see what it's like. Oh, man. Damn. Out of the can, sorry guys, I'm in heaven here. After yard work, I love IPAs. Anyway, bigger, more pine flavor, more pronounced flavor out of the can. This is big pine and big grapefruit zest now, kind of equally playing the flavor up in my mouth here. Man, just such a tasty beer, man. This is really well put together, and you can see over time we're getting some change here. And it's not bad change. It's like the layers of flavor in the beer over time are juxtaposition and changing where they are in the forefront of the flavor profile of the beer. First it was big citrus attack, then it was all pine, and now it's kind of like they're more on a level playing field. But all the whole time through each one of these tastes that I've done so far, that malt is in the background, keeping the beer not astringent, keeping the alcohol in check, man, and everything. This is just a really well put together beer. And the tastes are different now, but I'm still giving it an A+ like I did before. It tastes just as good. Don't worry about getting this beer at 37 days old. It's in the can, and it's still awesome for different reasons. It changes and develops, and it's maturing over time into a little bit different beer. So, we're going to be back at the next installment, a few more days on the next can, and we're going for that 70-day mark. And I guess until the next one, that's a big yeah. Finish my beer and peace out! I'm back. We're at day 54 of our Heady Topper over time video, going up to 70 days in the can to see if our buddy Mr. Kimmich, who owns Heady Topper and the Alchemist, or whatever you want to call it, is correct, and that's when it tastes best. So, the last time, you'll recall, we had a melding of flavors, blending back of the pine and the citrus. Remember when we started with beer 1, we were at a citrus bomb, then we got into a pine bomb, sort of, and then we had them blending back together, and it was more clear each time as we've gone through. So we've got another tasting glass, because as you know from watching so far, I prefer to drink this from a can. So, get this bad boy cracked open. I can already smell it wafting, and let's see how clear this one is over time. I can already see it pouring out. It is more clear. And if you take a look at that up in the camera, you can see that too. That's cleared out quite a bit from the beginning. I can see through it now a lot more than last time. Plenty of active carbonation still on this one. Let's get a nose on it in the glass, and then I will tell you what's in the can. Let's see, man, more pine this time, back again. Bit earthy. The citrus is there still. Smell a little bit of the malt. And it's still dank. Been dank since day 1 and dank now at day 54 drinking it. So let's get a taste out of the little glass here, and then we'll taste it and smell out of the can. But there's a better look at it now that the head's calmed down, the bubbles have chilled. Still hazy and cloudy because it is an unfiltered beer, but much more clear than from the first time I tried it. So let's get a taste. Nice. Now, it's more upfront bitter pine again over time. The citrus has faded back a little in the flavor right now, at least out of the glass here. The bitterness, actually, I feel a little bit more. It's a little less balanced than in the beginning. It's not astringent. There's still no alcohol taste, and it's still a lovely tasting beer. It has faded a little bit from the brightness when we were at our last postmark, now that we're at day 54, but it's still a really awesome top flight DIPA. So let's taste it out of the can, because I think that's really the test on this one. Cheers, guys. Well, let's get the aroma first. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing today. Jeez. Wow, bigger citrus out of the can. The pine's coming through, malt, and still like a big dankness coming out of this. Not as dank as on the first time that I smelled this, or the second time I smelled this out of the can. There's very little fade between those first two periods. There was a little bit of fade in period 3, but now here at period 4, 54 days, it's faded a little bit, but it's still a real dank beer. Man, what a freaking hot bomb this is. Let's get a taste on this bad boy out of the can. Cheers. Yeah. Man. Still awesome. The citrus is not as prevalent in either the glass or the can at this stage, but now it's like a big piney East Coast DIPA. Bigger pine than I remember in the last 3 installments here. Even at this point when the pine was coming up and the citrus has faded. The melding of citrus and pine that was in this one has dropped back a little bit, but it's still a really kick-ass beer and super tasty. I mean, all 3 of these, I think I gave these a 99. This is still in the A+ range. I'm going to give this level here to where it is now. It's still better in the can, by the way, too. I'm going to give it a 97. It's still in that A+ range. And, man, the malt sweetness has actually come up a little bit from the last time, but it's still super easy drinking. You can't tell at all just the same that there's any 8% in this. And if you like a dank, hoppy, pine aggressive DIPA, Heady Topper at 54 days is there. You know what? The can is what you put IPAs in, DIPAs or whatever. So I'm going to dismount the pulp for now. It's still at A+ level. We're going to see how it is at 70 days, and we will continue to the saga to the last installment. See you at that point. Cheers. Alright guys, I'm back. It's time for our last installment in our Heady Topper saga. As you recall, we started at 3 days new or old, whatever you want to call it. This beer's been at A+ all throughout for different reasons. We've done it at 3 days, 20 days, 37 days, 54 days, and now we're at 71 days. Why? Because Mr. Kimmich, the person who runs, owns, and whatever he does at Alchemist Brewery, said he liked it best at 70 days one time. So I had enough of these here. Thanks to my good buddy Hopback Nate. Shout out to you again, Nate. Thanks a million for sending me this beer. Without you, I would not have it. You are the man, and check out Nate's channel. The information will be down here, of course, in the notes section. Anyways, I'm going to crack this open. I'm going to put it in the glass to see how clear it's gotten. As you know, I like it more out of the can. I think it's got better flavor, just like they say, but whatever. So, I've been cooking all day. Mr. Kimmich claims this is a working man's kind of beer, even though it is pretty damn expensive for a 4-pack, but I'm a working man today because I've been cooking, cleaning, and doing housework all day, and I'm grungy, and I'm ready for some liquid sunshine of IPA in my life. So let's crack the top. Oh, what an awesome sound. And see what it looks like in the glass. Got a little snifter action going on here. Wow, super duper clear. Look at that, guys. Doesn't that look pretty? 71 day old Heady Topper. Quite clear. It's still a little hazy because it's an unfiltered beer when it starts out. that same golden amber color, that slightly sort of eggshell white head. We got about a quarter finger ahead there, I guess, but I didn't pour it super aggressively. But look at that. That's a gorgeous beer. Plenty of bubbles streaming up from the bottom. Really pretty. Let's get a nose on it. Wow. Even with 71 days on it, man, it's still a big DIPA, bigger than some other people's DIPAs that I've smelled fresh. Wow. Pine, citrus, a bit of lemon, a bit of spiciness, kind of like yeast spiciness almost in the background. The malt showing through a little bit more. I'm getting like a bit of like honey aroma, but a lot of tangerine smell from this. Wow, really lovely, lovely smelling beer. Just the same from the beginning. I'm going to get a taste of it here in the glass, and then I'm going to taste and get the aroma out of the can. So, cheers, guys. Wow. Just as I remember, still delicious. Still quite, look at that glass section. Wow, still quite hoppy. Even after 71 days in the can, it's even more balanced than it was in the beginning. The flavor really has not degraded on this beer that much. It's not that big green raw flavor and like big dankness. The dankness has subsided a lot, and the bitterness is there, but it's not like a faded hop, kind of like just lingering bitter on your tongue and around the edges. There's still plenty of malt. There's like the more malt sweetness that's there now that some of that dank hops and like really aggressive pine and citrus has died down. This is more East Coast IPA-ish, okay? When this is fresh, it's more towards like the West Coast end, man. Grittingly, abrasive, and kind of like astringent, up in your face with hops. Now it's more balanced. It's still a big beer. The alcohol is still completely hidden in it. You can't taste that at all. This is a super sneaky, easy beer to drink, and I suspect as I get down the can, I'll probably get even more hop flavor because of the sediment that settles out in this. It's still quite piney. That's more of the spectrum where it is now. It's more on that piney side. When I did this at 54 days, it still had a good bit of dankness left, and that dankness has died down some, but it is still there. This is a super well-made beer. It's definitely one of the best DIPAs out there. This and Abrasive from Surly are my two favorites. They're neck and neck. The only one that I ever there's two others in the running that I really like too. There's Gangsta Frog from Hoppin' Frog, and there's also it was called Supa IPA that was a collab between Alpine and New Belgium. Those are probably my four favorite DIPAs that I've had so far, but definitely number one and number one are going to be Abrasive and Heady. So this at 71 days, if you guys are getting this old and it sat in your fridge and you forgot about it or you just didn't get to drink it, don't worry. It's still fucking delicious. So what are we going to grade this? I'm going to give this an A now. The hops aren't as huge, and it's not what it was when it was fresh. Not even what it was at 54 days. You know, now we're at 71 days. You know, 10 weeks old. It's still an awesome beer. It has not degraded. The can has done its job. This is also proof that cans are the superior packaging for IPAs and DIPAs, period. And I'm also beginning to be of the opinion that that's the best for coffee beers also. So I'm giving this an A. I'm going to give it a 95. It's an awesome beer. It's been an A and an A+ beer every single can that I've drank, and it's been a pleasure to drink this. And like I said, thanks again, Nate, for sending this to me. And now I'm going to thank you guys if you can do me a big-ass favor by thinking globally and drinking locally and supporting the craft beer movement, helping this thing grow so guys like Heady, beers like Heady Topper and guys like the Alchemist will be inspired to make more gems of the craft beer world like this. Oh, I was going to taste out of here first. I'm getting all ahead of myself. Let's see. I still like it better out of the can. It's more dank out of the can and more citrus tasting. Anyways, guys, thanks a million for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Excuse my little forgetfulness, but I've been cooking for about 4 hours. So, till the next time, I appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said, thanks a million for watching. I'm repeating myself, so it's time to go now, isn't it? Yes, I think it is time to go. Right, Headies? It's time to go? They've had enough of this video. It's been pretty freaking long. Anyways, I got nothing left for you but a bunch of love and a big ass. Peace out!